yet another dramatic development, an impeachment motion has been registered against Chief Justice Jolendra Samsher Rana as 98 lawmakers from the ruling alliance turned up at the Parliament Secretariat to file the proposal. The main opposition, CPNUML, without whose support the motion will be quashed, has said that it firmly stands against the latest gambit of the ruling alliance, calling it a backdoor move to sabotage fast-approaching local elections. Good morning, I'm Sarah Chitrakar and these are the headlines of the hour. The ruling alliance says the impeachment motion against Chief Justice Rana to end judicial deadlock. UML says a political gambit to derail upcoming local elections. An all-party meeting called by Speaker Sapkota taking place today amid heightened political atmosphere triggered by MCC agreement. The scheduled House session deferred till Wednesday. 55 constituencies in 9 districts of Uttar Pradesh are voting today amid an increasingly polarized campaign. Polling also being held in BJP-ruled states of Goa and Uttarakhand. And Nepal taking on Ireland in the four-nation international T20 series. The match at Oman's Al Amirat cricket ground kicks off at 3:45 p.m. Nepal time. In a dramatic development, an impeachment motion against Chief Justice Jolendra Samsher Rana has been registered at the Parliament Secretariat. 98 parliamentarians from the ruling alliance registered the impeachment motion, citing a 21-point accusation against the Chief Justice at the Parliament Secretariat. Following the impeachment motion, Chief Justice Rana has been suspended from his position as per Article 101 of the Constitution. Parliamentarians of the ruling party had reached the Parliament Secretariat with Minister for Law Dilendra Prasad Bodu to file the impeachment motion. Parliamentarians including Pushpa Bhushal, Jivan Ram Shrestha, Dev Gurung and Gagan Thapa among others had reached the Parliament Secretariat to meet Speaker Agni Sapkota with signatures of 98 lawmakers. Law Minister Bodu, after registering the impeachment motion, stated that the constitutional process has begun to remove Chief Justice Rana. The impeachment motion notes the 21-point accusation, citing that Chief Justice Rana was a unit unfit to perform judicial and administrative works at the Supreme Court. Rana has been accused of working against the aspirations of federalism, human rights, rule of law and not being able to live up to constitutional supremacy. The accusation also states that Chief Justice Rana's tenure saw rampant corruption and anomalies pertaining to the judiciary. It will require a two-thirds majority of the impeachment motion to be upheld by the Parliament. The ruling alliance will require the support of the main opposition, CPNUML, for a two-thirds votes. The main opposition, CPNUML, has termed the impeachment motion against Chief Justice Jolendra Samsher Rana as ridden with conspiracies, saying that the party will oppose the government move. The Secretariat meeting of CPNUML held after the ruling partners filed an impeachment motion against the Chief Justice decided to oppose the decision. CPNUML Chairperson KP Sharma Oli from yesterday's meeting held at Oli's Balkot residence concluded that the ruling alliance has aimed to affect the local level elections by launching an attack on the country's judicial system. UML General Secretary, talking to Kantipur News, informed that today's Secretariat meeting will take a call on the party's strategy to counter the government move. The Parliament will require two-thirds majority of the total 275 votes, which comes to 182 yes votes, to remove Chief Justice Rana. The ruling alliance presently has 169 votes, while some of these lawmakers are suspended. The protest launched by law practitioners against the role of Chief Justice Jolendra Samsher Rana has crossed 100 days. When the Nepal Bar Association has urged the political parties to support them in their effort to remove the Chief Justice, the parties had remained indifferent. The ruling alliance, in a dramatic turn of events, has now filed an impeachment motion against the Chief Justice, catching the attention of the entire political fraternity. Ruling parties Nepali Congress, CPN Maoist Centre and CPN Unified Socialist registered the impeachment motion against the Chief Justice at the Parliament Secretariat yesterday, citing a 21-point accusation. There are talks going around within the ruling parties that the impeachment motion was registered as Chief Justice Rana was trying to make his influence through the Judicial Council. Analysts have calculated an intense number of game in the latest move of the ruling alliance, which also faces the tricky agenda of MCC ratification from the parliament. The move that materialized without the knowledge of some other ruling partners has added twist to the tale, as coalition partners Janta Samajwadi Party said that it was completely unaware of the development. Meanwhile, even if the impeachment process moves ahead, it is unlikely to be upheld without the support of the main opposition lawmakers. Speaker Agni Sapkota has called an all-party meeting amid heightened political atmosphere triggered by the controversy surrounding the Millennium Challenge Corporation Nepal Compact. The MCC debacle has yet again postponed the scheduled House meeting. Speaker Sapkota has called the all-party meeting for later today at 2 p.m. at the Parliament House. The earlier House session scheduled for today has been postponed for Wednesday, 16th of February. Meanwhile, main opposition CPN-UML has also called a meeting of its parliamentary party today itself. The calling of the all-party meeting and a deferral of the scheduled House session at a time when Washington has mounted pressure on the parliamentary ratification of the MCC agreement has been viewed as significant. A repeated meeting of the top brass leaders of the ruling alliance has failed to make a breakthrough on the MCC agreement. The US has meanwhile extended its deadline till February end for the ratification of the $500 million bill from the parliament. It was on 1st of Fagun, as per the Nepali calendar, in the year 2052 that CPN Maoists, the then rebels, had waged an armed insurgency. 27 years down the line and 16 years after the Maoists stormed into the mainstream politics, the Maoist warfare only became a stepping stone for a certain elite to take the power reins without bringing desired transformation in the plight of the general public. More in this report.
The Maoist insurgency marked the completion of 27 years on Sunday, as hundreds of youths from across the country had joined an armed movement after being lured by transformation for better life. The rebels in the year 1995 signed the Comprehensive Peace Accord to end the 10-year-long insurgency and enter into mainstream politics of the country. The end of monarchy, ushering into federalism, and the new constitution through Constituent Assembly are the upshots of 10-year Maoist warfare. However, CPN Maoists, following their advent into mainstream politics, have failed to utilize politics and power to trigger a transformation of the public life. The power-centric party, on the contrary, had to bear with numerous splits over the course of these 16 years since the warfare ended. Meanwhile, justice delivery, one of the integral part of peace process, has remained a far cry as the wait for justice of family members of Maoist victims, either missing or injured, has continued unabated.
In our Public Voice segment, we had asked the residents in several provinces how to adopt health safety guidelines amid increasing public activities as COVID protocols have been relaxed. Let's take a look at what they had to say.
Public Voice.
Sanitizer भयो, मास्कहरु भयो, यिहरु अपनाउने र भिडभाडमा पनि अलिकति दूरी कायम गर्नुपर्छ.
साबुन पानीले हातहरु बारम्बार पटक धोइराख्नु. प्रशासनले अलि तगडा रूपमा लाई परेर र सबैलाई जानकारी गराइदिएमा आभारी हुन्थ्यौं.
स्वास्थ्यबाट जारी भएका निर्देशहरु पालन गर्नुपर्ने छ.
आफ्नो सुरक्षा आफै गर्नुपर्छ.
भिडभाडमा नजाने.
मास्कको अनिवार्य रूपमा प्रयोग गर्नुपर्छ.
Time now for our segment, Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
Here's the question: what should be done for the regular commercial operation of trains? Your options are A. Make clear laws, B. Adequate human resource, and C. Expand infrastructure. The voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B or C and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. That's all for the moment. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.